you know. But what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, the Novice Nose out here in these fragrance streets. Out here, as you can see in the backdrop, in the lovely, beautiful Bora Bora. It's actually quite lush with the vegetation back there. My view over here is amazing, though. I wish I could take the camera down so you could see it, but then that would be too much putting it back up. But we're sitting here in the middle of kind of almost like a little bay here, and we've got this ship and its sister ship just kind of meandering in the water right now. They dropped anchor and they're just kind of swaying. We're the only two ships here in this big, huge bay. We're just out in the middle of the bay. It's actually really nice out here. It's really, really nice. It's really, really pleasant. A little crisp, little tropical breeze kind of blowing through. It's my type of party. My type of party. Speaking of, sipping my little drink, my tequila drink, of course. It's a little fruitier than what they normally are when I'm at the house. Normally that's my little old-fashioned-esque type tequila drink. This is more of a fruity style of tequila drink, a Neho Sunrise. It's actually probably not bad at all. Mo, what's going on? What's going on? Gator in his natural habitat on the water, yeah. Alligator in his natural habitat on the water. It's actually really, really nice out here. It's been raining a good bit, but you kind of expect that a lot of times in like tropical locations and everything. But man, it's actually really, really nice. Yesterday, we got to go in the glass boat. Got to see some sharks. Got to see all the sharks out there. They was like swarming and swimming, and we got to see coral and all that kind of stuff. It's cool because the sharks were like literally, right there, so I could reach my hand down and touch them. Of course, I was not going to reach my hand down and touch them. That was not going to happen. They were beautiful, beautiful, and they're black-tip sharks. And normally, what they were telling us, is you could swim with them, you could snorkel with them, and it'd be good. They're not going to attack you. They're nice. I wasn't going to test their theory on that. I just took their word for it and just kept on going. So, scent of the day today. Well, actually yesterday as well. And I think today is actually going to be something else. But scent of the day, because I've been kind of going back and forth. I'm about to take a shower and get out into this world. But scent of the day was Mancera Amberful. So actually really, really nice fragrance for the environment that we're in right now, because it is versatile. It's got a beautifully kind of mineralic citric note that stands out amongst kind of the tropical vibes that you're getting here. So when you're downwind from it, it just allures you, and it's gotten compliments already today. So you love when you get compliments on your fragrance here, especially in an environment like this where you're gonna be around a bunch of strangers here. Walt, what's going on, man? From Walt's window. Hey, I think I got it right. Hey, look, I'm trying my best here with my eyes doing the most. I'm going to go get glasses when I get back, by the way. I told my wife that. I was like, I got to go get some glasses, man. But anyway, hey, brother, awesome view. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Billy Time said, what's good now? Is he feeling better? Been praying for you, brother, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Been getting better. It's every once in a while, you have those kind of challenges. You're not feeling so hot, all that kind of stuff. But you shake out of it, shake back. You definitely shake back, and stuff like this definitely helps to shake back. Try to spend as much time, enjoying things as you possibly can. I was talking to some of the people upstairs yesterday, and we were talking about that, just getting out and being able to enjoy, life in general, experience new things. Never be afraid to not, experience new things. I actually, this was booked before Sin Explore, and that was one of the things that I wanted to do this year. I know my guy Walt's going, Kev's going, Jonathan's going, a couple of other folks are going from our kind of friend group there, and I'm not going this year, but we'll definitely be there next year, man. Sin Explorer is a big deal. Hopefully, might actually make Beauty World this next year. Stay tuned on that. But just to kind of get out and interact with those guys. But you'll see some stuff soon. We'll be doing some interacting real soon on that side, man. But man, it's been awesome so far. Really been digging it, man. And I've had a chance to, check out some of the fragrances, see how some of them perform. One of the ones I'm super excited about, that's why I'm going to take a shower today to wear it, is from Simone and Droli. They've made a couple of fragrances that I really love. I'm a big fan of Tulum Junglescape that they did, but Simone and Droli Malibu Party in the Bay. That is the best, like, tropical, coconutty fragrance that I have probably ever smelled. That's gonna be my scent of the day today, and I'm including like your Virgin Island waters and all that kind of stuff like that. That fragrance is beautiful. If you've never put your nose on Simone and Droli's Malibu Party in the Bay, coconuts, rum, it is a party in a bottle. But at the same time, it's overboard on all of the notes, right? So it's got some power, but at the same time, it's just such a beautifully crafted kind of fragrance, man. It really does, like, go through progressions. It's not super linear like a lot of tropical fragrances are, but it's just gorgeous, man. That's all I can say. It's just gorgeous. Billy said, when is it? If you're talking about Sin Explorer is this week, actually. I believe it's coming up this Friday. And you're going to see a bunch of people that are going to be dropping content on it. I know my guy Walt's going to be dropping content. Most likely Kev's going to be dropping content. Jonathan's going to be dropping content. Man, it's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be there that are going to be dropping content on Sin Explorer or from Sin Explorer, man. So, like I said, didn't make it this year. Well, I'll be there next year. But yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing everything that's out there and seeing all of the things that are going on there this year. See how everybody's rocking it. Let me see. One question. Nobody gives the right explanation, bro. Someone compared Blonde Amber to smell like Grand Soir a little bit. To me, no. Like, I can get why they're saying that. I can get the reason they're saying it. I still think Blonde Amber gives a little bit more of that ambery kind of honeyed nuance, and I feel like Grand Soir is more of a vanillic, kind of like a deep vanilla amber kind of influence. And there is a difference. They're both sweet. It's just the honeyed, more kind of like hay-like vibe that you get in Blonde Amber. Completely different vibe than, they're both ambery. That's kind of what you could say. But I still feel like they're different. I compare Blonde Amber, and this is going to sound weird. I compare Blonde Amber to almost like a beautifully, like, amplified breakfast cereal kind of vibe. And, Grand Soir is more your marshmallowy vanilla kind of vibe. Both ambery as far as that same type of scent DNA, but they smell different. I hope that kind of explains a little bit of what I'm saying. But personally, I prefer the blonde amber vibe. Um, I do. I actually have right now. I've been testing that French Avenue, the Amber Empire, and I'm a bit more leaning towards that one than the Faris from Maison Assoir. I know some people are kind of like, nah, I like the Maison Assoir better. But there's something about, especially after maturation, I think that's the big key, the maturation on the Amber Empire. Because when I first smelled Amber Empire, when I first sprayed it on, I was kind of like, oh, this is all right, it's cool, it's nice, it smells nice. But it didn't give me like that punch. It wasn't giving me that, ooh, okay, now we're getting into it. Now we're getting that depth. It was just kind of light, and it kind of disappeared a little bit. And that's how I know maturation is a real thing, man. After about a week or so, when I revisited it, and because I kind of sprayed it a little bit every day just to kind of see if it was evolving, and slowly but surely it seemed like it was. Man, about a week into it, it became a different thing, and I like it. I like it better than the other one does. Let's see. So what city? Yeah, so Sensploor is in New York. It's going to be there. Excuse me, in New York. Gosh, I wish I had the dates. I remember. I usually know the dates. I think it is like the 5th and 6th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, or something like that. I know it's coming up like right now, this week. Billy said Iris and Patchouli from Fragrance World sent in the day. So that new French Avenue, which is that Iris, it's like an Iris and Patchouli as well. What is the name of it? Iris something. But yeah, that's going to be my my next. Hopefully, it'll be one of those ones that I get a good. I want to sample that one before I even buy it, because the original DNA, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of based on one of those Carolina Herrera's. And the original DNA, I can't remember, and I'm a huge Iris fan. I can't remember if that was one that I really was digging. So I'm going to probably try to sample it again and see what it's like. Well, it says like dry paper. Yeah. But cereal version. Yeah. So that, and that's the thing. It's kind of a drier kind of, like I said, like it like cereal brandy kind of vibe going on with that one, and dry. It's a little bit drier style of amber here, which I think is a little bit of the difference with the French Avenue. The French Avenue seems to be a little bit more sugary, almost a little bit, I can't even say moist per se, but it's not the same dryness that you have in that original blonde amber, which is not a bad thing per se, because it's still like in the air. That stuff, I wore it to work. What was it? It was a couple weeks ago. I wore it to work, and when I say, I probably counted 6, 7 people that commented on it. There were people at work when I went into the Quick Trip to get like a energy drink so I could drive home. The lady in there was like, oh my gosh, that is nice. So yeah, it's a stunner of a compliment getting fragrance, and in all honesty, if you're going to choose between that and paying $500 for the blonde amber, it's a hard decision for me to say that I'm gonna go with blonde amber instead. There are nuanced differences, but I think the nuanced differences aren't worth me paying an extra $300 or $400 for it. You say, yeah, I'm looking for one, like Blue Talisman Expectation. So Blue Talisman is one of those fragrances that I've never really been the biggest fan of. There are some solid interpretations of it right now. Art of Universe to me is a little bit of a brutish take on Blue Talisman. There's a fragrance called Taj 2 that a lot of people hated on. They don't really give Taj 2 very much love right now, right? And it's because the fruit blend throws people off on that fragrance, especially in the opening of it. That fruit blend is not the same as you would find in Blue Talisman. But the way the fragrance progresses is more in line with the way that Blue Talisman actually progresses. It comes through with the woodiness and everything as it comes into that dry down. Here it's wispy as far as the presentation is. And not saying Blue Talisman is super wispy, but it's more of a light tight type of fragrance. And it's got a delicateness to it, like a refined nature to it. Blue Talisman is that. Taj 2, even though they got the fruit blend wrong, is that. Art of Universe is not that. That being said, they did get a really close to the way the fruit blend kind of comes across in the original Blue Talisman. And so they do have a little bit more of a linear nature with that one, but it is nice. It is nice. It is stronger on the initial approach too than Blue Talisman is. So that was actually not a bad one. Afnan just dropped that Tarathi Electrique, which has to me, that vanilla that's in there, it makes for a nice skin scent. But to me, the longevity isn't what I was expecting it to be with the main superstar characters of the Blue Talisman. It still lasts on skin for me around 8 hours or so, but it's on skin as more of the vanilla vibe on skin for longer than it is the actual Blue Talisman vibe. So, that's one to look at. They both are amber scents, but Grand Soir is more grown and aromatic and polished. And I'm a blonde amber fan. It's kind of like the clubby version. It's more in your face, thick and strong. Yeah, definitely. And I do think that there is a little bit of that, like, and I get what you're saying as far as more of the clubby, more of the sweeter kind of vibe, a little more fruity in that sense. The vanilla in Grand Soir is more of that polished kind of vanilla vibe, It's a nice Billy. Is that I'm like stuck at the checkout all week long. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Said Novice, don't get on me, but bro, I wore that amber touch from Maison Alhambra and let it sit for a month. I got compliments. All clones are taking over. Yeah, man. It's interesting though that a lot of the brands are aware that these clones are doing what they're doing, and they're still not really taking any unique profiles and putting out there, with the exception of like Hermes with that the EDP Intense is one that's not really clonable like that. So it's some of them are doing things. I was gonna say Blue de Chanel, but heck, that L'Exclusif was easily cloned apparently, because now Riffs has one. I got that one, and I'll be kind of letting y'all know what that's like soon. Let's see. Sit of the day, Joe. What's going on, man? Sit of the day, Unui Nomad Estrella de la Mariana. As I'll be in 8 out. Y'all, let's see. I'll be in and out from you and Kicks live. Yeah, man, I didn't even realize Kicks was going live tonight. I'm not going to be here very long. I just had to jump in and say hey to everybody, man. I'm not going to be here very long at all, man. Well, says, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. It's no problem, man. This is one of the things that I love to do. I love to talk fragrances. And you learn. I learn from you guys. You learn from me. We all learn from each other as far as the way that, that's what they mean by a fragrance community. There's fragrance classes that you can take. But we're more of a community. I learn a lot. We were talking to Joel just now, man. Joel was the one who put me on one of my favorite pickups, man, in the last year. there, that's that Risala autograph from Le Falcon. They put that house actually on the map for me, and I got a box from them with a couple of their newer fragrances, Symphony Melody and Symphony Harmony, that I'm gonna be talking about soon, man. Both of those are really, really good, really, really good, and I can't wait to talk about them. One is a Lovers, LV Lovers interpretation, and one is a Roja Imperium, or Rosa Elysium, sorry, interpretation. So looking forward to those, man. To talking about those, man, because I've gotten some really nice feedback on those, man. Walton said Risala heavy, yeah, it's nice. It is nice, man. Like I said, I learned a lot from Joel and you, Novice. Yeah. And so, and that's the whole thing. That's a part of the community, just being able to talk to people and to learn more about the things that we love, which are the fragrances, man. Joel giving that thumbs up, man. Yeah, definitely. It said, Lovers, I like to after I kept trying. Man, so I didn't like Lovers when I first smelled it. To me, the galbanum really just kind of like overpowered that thing, that bitter green. But it was almost, I will say that once I smelled it a second time, I think I had kind of a scent expectation. And then I actually got to wear it. And when I wore it, I was kind of like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I could dig this. And that's why the harmony, the Le Falcon Symphony Harmony is really, really nice, because that harmony is, I wouldn't even say a 1-to-1. I feel like it's slightly greener, just slightly, but just slightly. Like, there's not a whole lot of difference between them. There's not a lot. Le Falcon is a house that I am like now hyper aware of, because it seems like they're doing some pretty accurate interpretations of fragrances, man. And if you're doing it at a price that's, $40 for accurate interpretation of Isola Blue in Risala Autograph, or an accurate interpretation of Elysium, an accurate interpretation of Lovers, that's worth it. That's definitely worth it. He said, yeah, exactly. He said, now it's empty and I'm missing it. Yeah, Lovers is interesting, because when I first smelled it, I was like, I don't know. My wife actually was like, oh, that's nice. I like that. It's got a warmth to it. And that was one of the things that I really wasn't invested in when I first smelled it. But after I smelled it and kind of wore it a while, it has this warmth to it. And then when it gets into the florals and the sandalwood, it really, really becomes a nice, gentlemanly style and more of an intimate variety of fragrance. Some fragrances are built for intimacy, and I feel like that fragrance is built more for intimacy instead of mass appeal effect, so yeah, I dig that a lot. And that's one of the things I'm gonna talk about when I pop the review on it. Speaking of the reviews, man, I decided, and shout out to my girl Chanel, man, for kind of putting the bug in my ear when I made the video last week when we were in Pepite about whether or not to drop the videos when I didn't have thumbnails. And she kind of made the point to me. It was like, yeah, we can, but you could drop a video and all the people that, rock with you, gonna rock with you regardless, but the whole point of kind of doing the jazz thumbnail in that sense is to really kind of garner more, outlying traffic from just your standard circle into your videos. And, and it kind of boosts you up in the algorithm a little bit. So this is me being more strategic in that sense and being like, you know what, I'll wait. Now, what I'll probably do is just drop them all at like once and just hit them like, Monday, Notes Classics, Tuesday, Seraphine Musk, Wednesday, I think it's going to be the Inizio, I believe it is, with that one. So, yeah. And then Black Forest as well. The Odyssey Black Forest one's going to drop too. So, yeah. You said I noticed a lot of fragrance reviewers nowadays. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot. There's a lot of, because I think, there's a lot of people, once they start buying, bottles, they're like, okay, I'm gonna jump out and I'm gonna start doing, reviews on these fragrances. And some of them, they do it more for the, not to point fingers at anybody. They do it more for the, oh, I wanna, have some followers, or I want to do, whatever, they're trying to get like the monetary gain out of it. And the monetary gain is really nice, but I actually, genuinely just love fragrances as well. So, but there's a lot of people like, there's people that I've run into that don't really know anything about any of the stuff that they're talking about. And it's so weird because you'll watch their videos and like, I'm not going to say the young lady's name. I think I've mentioned this before, but when Afnan was sending out all of these promo boxes to everybody, and she was like, did videos where she's talking about Rare Reef. And she's like, I guess it was her boyfriend or something was asking her, so what's the better fragrance? This or Rare Reef? She'll say Rare Reef. What's the better fragrance? And then she started getting to like, what's the better fragrance? Creed Aventus or Rare Reef? She's like, Rare Reef. And then it's like, what's the better fragrance? Dior Homme or Rare Reef? She's like, Rare Reef, of course. Like, Rare Reef is just such a great fragrance. No, wait a minute. I mean, maybe, but fragrance is subjective. She may feel that way. And that's fine if you're like that, right? But then she did a video with the other fragrance that was in the promo box, which was the Tarathi Electric. And she did this video where she was trying to do an insert, which is when they, and you'll see a lot of fragrance reviewers do these inserts where they'll do these fragrances. They'll just take some random fragrances and then they'll put the fragrances that they need to put the promo on in those videos. So they'll insert the new fragrance that they're supposed to be plugging and promoting in the video with some of the older fragrances. But anyway, she's doing that. She's doing the best imagination clones. So then she's doing, she goes through this list. She does the Game of Spades. She does Aqua Dubai. And then she puts Tarathi Blue Electric, Tarathi Electric as the best imagination clone that she's ever smelled. That is the best one out of that whole list, out of Aqua Dubai, out of Marwa, out of out of Game of Spades. And I'm like, Tarathi Electric isn't even an imagination clone. It's a Blue Talisman clone. They smell completely different. What are we talking about here? But she was trying to do an insert to do the promo. And that's just like, you don't know anything that you're talking about at this point. Those are the ones that are kind of, to me, I don't know. I don't like. But, I don't think it's a bad thing to have so many reviewers, though. Because, reviewers are here. If you have fragrances, you have the right to talk about a fragrance, and, that's no problem with that. I don't see any problem with it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you're having a wonderful time aboard the beautiful Star Breeze. If you're planning to join us for our Polynesian Feast and Fire event, this message is for you. We're about to board the last catamaran to Motu Tapu. Please make your way to the gangway, located on deck 3 midship, and join us ashore. Once again, the last catamaran to Motu Tapu is boarding now. And please make your way to the gangway on deck 3 midship. Thank you and have a fabulous afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Let's say, what's she gonna recommend? Man, you say she delusional. Yeah, man, but that was what she was doing. And it made me look at all of the other videos that she was doing in a different light, and I was right when I started looking at some of the other videos. So you do want to find people that you have a trust in, as far as like, and get multiple opinions, because I might like a fragrance that some people love, like Blue Talisman, for example. I did not like Blue Talisman, that DNA. It wasn't really that I didn't like the DNA. I just felt like it wasn't worth the price of that DNA at all. So when they were talking about cloning it, it was like, okay, I could see maybe me getting into it. I'm still not the biggest fan of that DNA. It's nice, but I'm still not like, oh, I can't wait to wear this type of DNA. But the counter example of that is Bleu de Chanel Exclusive. I'm a huge Bleu de Chanel Exclusive fan. I love that fragrance. The price on that one does not warrant me buying it. They overpriced it by about $100. That being said, there's a lot of people in the community that hate that fragrance, mostly because it wasn't what people expected it to be. So, it is what it is, man. It's subjective, but do find, a group of people that you listen to and that you respect the opinion of. Do find a group of them. Like I'm partial to, I'm a fan of Ross over there. At TLTG, he has a similar taste as far as like I do, as far as like fragrances go. I could say that Walt over there, Fat Boy Finesse, definitely. Jensen's, man, always been in the game with it, man. Joy Amin, a lot of people don't tune into Joy Amin stuff, man. But Joy Amin is probably one of the best reviewers that's out there, like legit. Like he is going to give his honest opinion, no fluff about nothing. And then my guy, man, Jamar over at Vegas Sense, he's like your favorite fragrance reviewer's favorite fragrance reviewer. He's that guy, Jamar is very good at what he does when he's breaking down fragrances, man. Jonathan, man, my guy, great with Jonathan. I talked about Smell Goods over there. Kev, man, Kev's got some great content, and I know he knows what the hell he's talking about when it comes to those fragrances, man. So yeah. Let's see. I agree, brother. That price way too much. It is. I love the fragrance. I do. Excuse me. Which is why this season's drift is interesting to me, because it's supposed to be a pretty solid interpretation of the fragrance. Now of Exclusive, I was expecting maybe Lattafa or French Avenue. They're probably going to drop better versions. I'm not going to completely skewer Season's Drift, but I'm going to tell you if it's close or not. Like I'm going to be real. I always am. I'm going to tell you if it's not, if it's some old bullshit, I'm going to tell you some old bullshit. But Riffs has been, kind of impressing me recently, man, with a few of the things that they've done. They've got this Privé, Essence Privé. It's in the blue bottle. That's a Dior Sauvage Elixir cologne. That is really, really good. I got a review coming up on that one too. So DNRs, what's going on? Let's say, what's the longest lasting? Does that say lasting? Lasting. Okay. What's the longest lasting? Man, I've had a few that have been like eternally long lasting, man. One that I, for some reason, man, I could not get that stuff off my skin is Lattafa Rockable Wood Intense. That stuff is it's kind of in the same ballpark of like a By the Fireplace, but it's completely different. Like it's got this incense vibe in it more, but that stuff was hard to wash off. That was hard. Let's see, Lattafa Atlas, another Lattafa. That's another one, man. It just stays on your skin. Like you just cannot get rid of that fragrance. Triumph for Bacchus from Argos for me is another one that lasts me like 10 hours on skin. I like it a lot though. Triumph for Bacchus is one of the better, I can't even call it a tobacco fragrance because I feel like the main tobacco is supposed to be what it's about, but the main pull in there is that peach at the top. I think that's probably the better way to look at that one. Thinking about some of the stuff that I'm sitting on right now. If there's a fragrance from Mancera called Silver Blue, that's another one that's like that, where it's got this deep, rich, caramelized fruit kind of vibe to it. And it just lasts all freaking day. And I'm pretty sure I'm leaving some out, but there's a lot of them, man, that will last all day. Speaking of the Bleu de Chanel Exclusive, they said that one was a 24-hour fragrance. They lied. It's not. But it does last a while. I got like 10 hours on that thing when I wore it. So it's definitely got some longevity to it. If you wanted something that's going to be a little bit more kind of like fruit forward, there's Atlantis Extrait. Atlantis Extrait from French Avenue. It's a room 1015 Wave Child inspiration. That thing lasted 10 hours on my skin too, almost 12. So that's one to think about when you're thinking about long lasting vibes of fragrances. And I'm sure everybody else is going to tell you something too. You say he only needs a better setup. Yeah, he does. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Joy Parfum 2025. How you feel about that one? I like it. A lot of people were crapping on it because it wasn't the original, but I liked it. You know, to me, it wasn't like something that I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have it in the collection. But I found it to be really pleasant. I found it to be really well done as far as it in the dry down, especially. I dig it. I dig it a lot. I just never was like, oh, I just gotta have it. You know. Let's say Joy Amin needs better setup in his view skyrocket. Yeah, Joy Amin, man, is he's one of those guys that nobody talks about. Nobody really, you know, him and Jamar. Because people don't talk about Jamar at Vegas Sits that much. But those two, man, are you know, what I pattern a lot of my stuff on, where it's like, you know, you want to be able to give true information about a fragrance, the breakdown of a fragrance all the way from the opening to the dry down. So, you want... Oh, no. Well, we're about to go ahead and get off here so we can go and get downstairs to do this Fire and Feast and Fire Festival out here on the island that y'all saw behind me. So we're about to go ahead and knock this out. But in the meantime, let's see, Taste and Sense. D Boogie, what's happening? What's good from Mexico, my brother? What's good from Bora Bora, my brother? Yeah, we out here living our best life. It said Rave Now Lattafa also long lasting cheapy. Yes, very much so. You are correct in that one. Well, Rave Now is interesting because it does have some serious lasting power to say it's a cheapie. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man, so we can get this thing together. I'm gonna holler at you guys. In the meantime, you guys already know what it is. Hit the like button, share, whatever. Drop some questions in the community. And I got a giveaway I'm gonna be doing soon, man. So just be on the lookout for that one. We gotta run this thing up to 1,700. In the meantime, guys, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, make sure you make today the best day ever on purpose. Peace out.